Are you a multi-passionate person? Someone who has a million ideas and gets excited by all of them and has a hard time focusing on one or the other? Someone who wants to spread their time evenly amongst all of these exciting things, but has a hard time narrowing it down and focusing on one and doing really, really well with it, or even just finishing it? That's me. You can join me here as I make some soup for lunch. So you might hear some clicking of my knife or see a mushroom flying through the air, but yeah, anyway, join me. So I'm gonna tell a little story. I was one of those kids who literally had the most outrageous, over the top, reach for the stars, World Series kind of dreams. And oftentimes I felt like, not as a small kid, but as I got a little bit older, I kind of felt embarrassed by them because it was really just out there, unheard of, impossible from some people's standards, or just not rational. And I had a hard time focusing on one at a time, which to the outside person made it seem like I couldn't commit, I wasn't dedicated, I could never see anything through. But in reality, I just feel like to my core that I'm a multi-passionate person. I have interest in so many different areas. Everything seems fun and exciting to me. And I think that there are a lot of other people out there like that. Over the years, I've tried to figure out, okay, what solutions do I have to this problem? I thought it was like the worst problem to have. This notion of being multi-passionate or having an inability to focus on one thing at a time, I saw always my entire life, even sometimes to this day, I see it as a negative, as something that holds me back from being successful or holds me back from achieving what I really want to achieve. And I think that instead of looking at it as a failure or a character flaw, so to speak, I want to start to look at it as an asset and something that I can build on. So I'm looking for ways to streamline my focus while keeping that multi-passionate fire alive. One of the things that I've recently spoken about a few times is just getting out of my own way, to stop making excuses for why I didn't finish something or why I didn't even start when I had this amazing dream or this amazing vision for what I wanted to do. And I think a lot of that is like my mindset and what gets in my head, and these like beliefs that run in and out of my own head being like, well, you can't do that. You won't finish it. You're not good enough. Somebody else has something super special about them that you don't have, and that's why they could do it, and that's why you couldn't. And so getting out of my own head was probably the biggest obstacle, still is the biggest obstacle for me when it comes to operating a YouTube channel or now running my own coaching business. I found that the best way to get me motivated and on track is, number one, to schedule a coaching session with a skilled coach, someone who can help me focus, someone who can streamline my vision for me, someone who's wholeheartedly, authentically listening to what I have to say and helping me quiet out all of the noise. Part of that noise would be other people's opinions or other people's thoughts on what I'm doing or why I'm doing it or if it's going to work or not. So a lot of coaching for me is really getting clear and establishing that vision so clearly that I can literally hold it in my hands. I can see it, I can feel it, I can envision it, I can move forward on it. Another thing that I find really helps is writing things down. So let's say you have, I don't know, for me, let's be realistic. You have 5 huge goals that you want to achieve. All 5 of them seem so important, so exciting. You want to dive into all of them today. What I tend to do is write down all 5. Write down why they mean something to me. So really focus on the why. What do I want to get out of it? What do I want to give out of it? What do I want it to propel into other areas of my life? How do I want it to support other areas of my life? Does it support my lifestyle vision for what I want with my family and my friends? Does it support what I want with my career and moving forward? Does it support the level of service that I want to provide to other people, both friends, family, relationships, coaching clients? And I kind of get clear on the why for each of them. And once I do that, it's kind of an easier process of eliminating certain things for now, so that I'm better able to focus on what I want in the moment and not what I maybe want down the road. Okay, now I'm cutting an onion. So if I start crying, this is why. Another way that I try and streamline my focus from 5 different goals down to 1 or 2 is to really focus on how that decision will make me feel. So how that goal will make me feel. I'll give a good example. YouTube is one of the things that I have been thinking about doing and starting for the longest time. Like, I would be lying if I said it's been like weeks or months. It's been years in the making, years of me being like, oh no, like I just can't do it. I can't, it's too much time. It's too much effort. I don't want to put myself out there. It feels embarrassing. I don't know why. I don't feel embarrassed when I watch YouTube, but I feel embarrassed about the idea of making YouTube videos. Strange how the brain works. But one of the ways that I've been able to kind of overcome that and streamline my focus is focusing on how it actually makes me feel, what it feels like to film a video, what it feels like to post a video, what it feels like to put that content out into the world, what it feels like to create the content, and what it just feels like in my body. And I won't lie. So the reason why I actually decided to go for it and to just put myself out there with YouTube specifically is the fact that it feels both exciting and terrifying, but just enough that I know it's the right move for me. As I've gotten older and as I've started to sit with the idea or the notion of figuring out who I am in my entirety, I've come to realize that I used to be so fearful of what other people thought. Fearful that they thought I was silly or outrageous or just out of my league or whatever, all of those things. And now, I don't know if it's being a mom or being in my 30s. I'm really not sure. But now I truly feel that the fear of becoming someone I'm not, the fear of just caving and being what I think everyone needs or wants me to be versus who I think I need or want myself to be is so much greater than the fear of what other people think of me. And that really helps me streamline my focus on these different passions that I have. So maybe out of the 5 big goals that I have, 3 are safe and 2 feel really stretchy and a bit terrifying. 9 times out of 10, I'm choosing the one that kind of scares me a little. And I think that's because I'm finally committing to getting to know myself on a much deeper level. It's a strange thing to think that you can, live 30-something years and not really know who you are. But in reality, I think that's true for a lot of people. You kind of grow up trying to figure that out. And I'm still figuring that out. I think I'll be figuring that out until the day that I'm no longer on this earth anymore. But you kind of grow up trying to dip your toe in the water of all these different pools, rivers, lakes, oceans, and eventually you start to figure out what feels the best, both terrifying and exciting, yet comforting and strengthening, all of these things. And for me, starting a YouTube channel was literally terrifying. I don't even know why. I'm in the comfort of my own home. I'm filming on my iPhone, nothing fancy. I edit it the way I want to. I post it when I want to. And I think it's just the idea that, not that strangers will see it, but that my loved ones will see it and think that it's silly. And I feel like I've mentioned this before, but if someone I love came across this video and thought, wow, she looks really ridiculous, maybe they don't love me as much as I thought that they did. For all of those who love me out there, please don't tell me if you think I look ridiculous. I don't want to know. I'm just kidding. Anyways, I'm gonna put these onions away before I actually start crying. Okay, so I will arguably say that the number one thing that helps me go from being unfocused and having these multiple dreams into streamlining that vision and executing that vision is community support. It can come in any shape or size. Sometimes that community support is a voice message from someone across the country. Sometimes it's from my husband, sometimes my mom, sometimes my daughter, sometimes just connecting with people from the coaching school that I belong to. I think you just need to find your village, whether it's virtual, whether it's a book even, someone who wrote a book that really resonates with you or inspires you to keep going and focus and figuring out what that why is for each of those multi-passionate visions. And for me, it comes in different shapes and sizes. And I find when I'm wavering or when I have too many things on my mind and I just can't focus on one thing or another, I tap into those people that I know will help me regroup and I know will help me visualize my dreams on the broader scheme. And I feel like community can help in so many different ways, and it's so important to just connect with people on a creative level, connect with people on a personal level, on a relationship level. I think it is so important when you're pursuing your biggest dreams, your biggest visions, your biggest everything, your goals, to talk about them with people. It feels absolutely terrifying, but I think that when you have multiple visions and you have multiple passions that you're trying to bring into this world and trying to streamline and focus and figuring out what's important, what's your next best step, how can I put one foot in front of the other, talking about them with other people is key. I don't know if this resonated with any of you, but if it did, amazing. Feel free to subscribe or like this video. I am posting really just what's on my heart as often as I can. Usually that's about once a week if I can maintain it. I have a multi-layer question for you. Are you a multi-passionate person? What are some of your biggest dreams that you're trying to streamline, you're trying to focus on? If you feel inclined, write them in the comments below or reach out to me directly either on Instagram or on YouTube and let me know. I'm so happy to be a part of your community. I'm so happy to be that connection point or that accountability partner for you. And yeah, if you like this video, I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.